Oh, yeah, baby. Welcome to Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not sure. February. I hate the word February. February. I get rid of the R. I just call it February. 22, I guess. 2024. You are on the incredulous Clark the Shark Lamborghini. It's not a talk show. It's not talk radio. It's a Lambo, baby. Where I am, I swear to God, you guys, I will sell you a box of Diet Captain Crunch if you listen to me. I'm not kidding. A free box of Diet Captain Crunch, saccharin. It might cause cancer or something, but it's free here on the Clark the Shark Show. And I'm going to give you that box of, it's not like, what's that one cereal? Me Lucky Charms. Remember that one, you guys? It's not like that. It's diet, baby. Saccharin or like aspartame. Captain Crunch here on the Clark the Shark Lamborghini, you guys. It's not just mere talk radio from a microphone. It's a sharkerphone, you guys, because it's solid gold. Even the wires are like made of gold. It's not copper inside. They're gold wires that are inside the Clark the Shark fabulous sharkerphone. I offer a box of Diet Captain Crunch cereal loaded with vitamin A, B, C, and D, and of course, saccharin, that carcinogen. It doesn't matter. You guys won't get cancer just by listening to my show. You might. I'm not sure. I can't guarantee it. But when I'm talking about the KINKS, Percy, 1971, you guys, the soundtrack, it's not an official KINKS album. It's a soundtrack. And I think that's Ray on the cover, you guys. I'm not sure. That could be Clark the Shark, me, because that's how I'm cut. And I need that leaf strategically placed like that, you guys, because, for a guy that's 5'6", down there, come on, you guys, I'm married to a black girl here. So there must be something going on right here at the unbelievably balanced Clark the Shark Lamborghini. It's not a show. This is a Lambo, baby, because the KINKS Percy. Now, this album, let's break into this. To me, this is one of the greatest KINKS albums ever recorded, you guys. It is. Although the critics and fans alike disagree. Now, back in the South Bay, Redondo, Torrance, Hermosa Beach, if anyone there says they have this album, they're lying. I'm going to give you a little tidbit. This was never released in America, you guys. And this album was a rumor all my life. I searched for this album. I looked for it. And I couldn't find it, you guys. And believe you me, I, Clark the Shark, tried to find all things KINKS. I'll swear one night drunk in the South Bay, I saw this in someone's record collection. And I was like, what, dude, bro, what is this? Like, one of those moments where you have a memory and it can't be real, but it probably was, you guys. Someone in Torrance had this album in a record collection. I don't know who. It wasn't Jim Aviani. I'm pretty sure. It was up in the Hollywood Riviera, though, near his house at a party. When you go to a party back in Torrance, and you meet a random girl and all that. And, I'm going to keep it clean, you guys. It's a family show. I don't want to go into all that. But right now, here on the Clark the Shark Show, yeah, if anyone says they have the KINKS Percy, it's probably a reissue vinyl from today, the last 15, 20 years or so, because there is no way anyone had this album back in my day, back in the 80s. I never saw it, you guys. I only heard of it, and until the days of the internet, this album really was a rumor, you guys. I never knew these songs. I think I heard somebody mumbling or singing these songs, you guys. I didn't really hear this album, honestly, until like 2007. And I'm talking all the songs on the album. And, you know, it's not for lack of trying either. I wanted to hear these songs. I heard about every tune on this album. And, you know, if something's not released in America and it's only over in Europe, it's hard. It's going to be hard to find unless people smuggle it over here, and then they make their own bootleg copies of it. And then you might find it on sale down at Go Boy Records in Redondo, down on Avenue H or G or whatever it was, or Avenue F. I can't remember, but Zed Records, Peanut Records, all those punk rock shops all around Hollywood. I never saw this album anywhere, you guys. Percy, the KINKS. To me and most people in Los Angeles, this album did not exist. And I even thought it was just false, like it was fake news. There was no such album, you guys. And then when I discovered there really was an album, by the way, you guys, fake news, that term wasn't around. I think that either started with Hillary or Trump, or maybe even me, myself, Clark the Shark. It sounds like a coin of a Sharky, but anyway, you guys. I invented Diet Captain Crunch, too. Diet, you guys. It's not, diet flavored shit, Diet Coke, Diet Dr. Pepper. It's terrible, you guys. No way will I give you a free 12-pack of that shit right here on the Clark the Shark Show. But this album by the KINKS, Percy, this is not diet. When I discovered that this album was indeed true and real, it blew my mind, you guys. And it lived up to all expectations and beyond. And even more than that, this became my favorite KINKS album. Totally unlike any other KINKS album, you guys. These songs are bigger, better than the KINKS albums around it. To me, Clark the Shark, anyway, I could be right or wrong, but this is better than Arthur, Lola, Muswell Hillbillies, the Green Album, all of them, you guys. Preservation 1 and 2, it is, you guys. I'm sorry to say that. This is right there with Village Green to me, because it is such a weird and unusual album for the KINKS, and it's such an anomaly. They never did another album like this before this or ever again after this. Not this good. This is really great album, you guys. It's on a high level of songwriting. And these songs here are nothing like the KINKS that we know. I'm talking every single song. They go to another level, and maybe they themselves on this album or this project, this soundtrack, they didn't even know they were doing it, you guys, or maybe they did. These songs are great, and I mean the whole album is solid. I don't know how the critics don't like this album, or fans alike, but it's probably, and it could be just because the album was unfindable. Such a rare album. And I never found it, you guys. This is not in my vinyl collection. No way. I'm going to be straight right here, you guys. This album, if I were to find it today, it's either CD or a new vinyl remanufactured today, probably on digital, not analog. If you can find the analog vinyl of this, wow, that's really a find. If you can find the original vinyl from 1971 of this, that's probably worth $10,000. I'm not even kidding. That is so rare. If you found an unopened album of this from Europe, 1971, I'm not kidding. It's worth a lot, you guys. It has to be. The Stars say this is a bad album. All Music and Blender give it bad reviews, but they either just glossed over it really quick or they didn't listen to it. because, you can't give this album a bad review. It's in between Lola 1970 and that other 1971 album that's so great, Muswell Hillbillies. But I think this album is better because it's more melodic than both of these albums. It's the meat in this sandwich, baby. Lola and Muswell Hillbillies are just the bread, you guys. I'm not kidding. This album is incredible. Every song. Of course, when I first heard God's Children, I was blown away. Side one, I was just like, wow, that's amazing. Better than anything on Muswell Hillbillies, you guys. Better than anything on Lola. Really surprising. You're going to be in shock when you hear God's Children. It's a hit song, you guys. It is. It almost sounds like Nilsson, or I don't know, like who's that guy, Chapin, or like the Cats in the Cradle. It's killer, you guys. Or it could be by like Bread or something, or Jim Croce. It's so fucking awesome. It doesn't sound like any of those, but it goes along those lines. I would love to sit here and tell you that God's Children sounds like the Kinks, and it sounds like a great, just another typical great Kinks song, but it doesn't. It's totally unusual and different for the Kinks, and yet it is very much a hit song, God's Children. Piano, it's a gentle, easy listening song, and yet it rocks. It's really good, you guys. You just got to hear it. It's like do 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 do, but he didn't make you and he didn't make me. I love it, you guys. It kind of borrows a little from that song Uncle Jack by Spirit. I'm not kidding. Listen to the two songs. They sound similar. And then the instrumental version of Lola might be a letdown to some, but I, Clark the Shark, love it. It's interesting. I wouldn't have put it track number 2 on this album, though. I would have moved that down, and I would have put The Way Love Used to Be, which is one of the greatest Kinks songs ever recorded, and just flat out one of the greatest songs ever recorded in the history of all music. The Way Love Used to Be, a very serious song. Strange for Ray Davies and the Kinks. They are usually not all serious. You know how the Kinks are funny and ironic and irreverent, and they're kind of like rock comedy, like Zappa. They've got this really intelligent grasp of words and life. But The Way Love Used to Be is really serious. It's almost like sad. It's got violins. It's Baroque pop or Baroque rock. It is really awesome, you guys. One of the greatest songs ever recorded. I'm not kidding. The Way Love Used to Be by Ray Davies and the Kinks. So right away here, you guys, 2 of these first 3 songs are classic. But You Ain't Heard Nothing Yet, completely another instrumental that's interesting. These instrumentals they have running around town, you're just like, why all the instrumentals by the Kinks? Weird. They never do instrumentals. I mean, rarely, but they do 3 on this album. And they're all really interesting. I would have moved these 3 classic songs on side 1 all up to tracks number 1, 2, and 3. Maybe critics would have thought it was a better album had they done that. For Moments, track number 6, side 1, is awesome, you guys. Acoustic, like violins and shit. Baroque pop. Once again, kind of like The Way Love Used to Be, but no. Moments is awesome Kinks. It does get back to that funny Ray Davies irony, that irreverence, more so than The Way Love Used to Be. It's definitely one of the greatest songs ever recorded. On side 1 of this album are 3 of the greatest Kinks songs. I'm not kidding, you guys. But it's like You Ain't Heard Nothing Yet, Moments is so awesome. Do 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 do. Don't know why, don't know why, don't know why. It's awesome. Oh, I love that song Moments. You gotta hear that. It's so fucking killer. And Animals in the Zoo, which is kind of like this album's version of Lola, or maybe like Ape Man or something. Awesome. Side 2, track 1. Animals in the Zoo, a KINKS classic, you guys. Only 2:22, but awesome. 4 songs that are awesome on this album, you guys. Amazing. And Just Friends. Good song, you guys. Once again, this album will surprise you. It will shock you, especially if you play this loud and listen to the whole thing. Whip Lady, another instrumental, you guys. I guess it goes with that movie, the soundtrack for Percy that they were doing. But this is really a great, incredible instrumental. It's like Spanish or something. It's killer, you guys. I might have it confused with Helga, but I know both these instrumentals are killer. And Dreams, one of the greatest songs ever by the KINKS and Ray Davies. Of course, you guys. You've got a lot of great songs by Ray here. And Dave. I mean, they're both chiming in together. They're working like a democracy on this album. It is the most democratic of all the KINKS albums, you guys. And it's not a KINKS album. It's a soundtrack for a movie, for basically a forgotten movie from 1971. Helga, another instrumental. I get them all confused, you guys, but you just got to listen to this album. It's killer. The one that's like Spanish, where it's like, do, 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 do. It's killer. Willesden Green. And once again, killer, you guys. Awesome. This album will just blow your mind. I could probably do without the instrumental of God's Children End, even though it's killer. And I love the way the comical little explosive, like bits of rock and roll explosion that pop up on this album here and there. Interesting, very different from all other KINKS albums. It's like a little crescendo grand finale at the end. It's almost like the KINKS were working really hard on this album, you guys, to make it great. And it's so weird because it's a forgotten album that critics, fans alike, nobody really talks about or knows about but me, Clark the Shark, right here on that amazing talk radio Lamborghini, baby, where I sell you diet boxes of Captain Crunch. That looks like a box of Captain Crunch, this cover, but that's me, Clark the Shark. And you can see, you guys, I'm pretty well hung. I need that green, like little Adam and Eve. I need that thing on me. Look at that like fig leaf or whatever. That could be Ray or that could be Shark. We're both sexy. I don't know if I'm as sexy as Ray. I don't even know if that's me or Ray. But this album cover, it's getting me hot, you guys. And I'm fucking straight. And when I look at Ray, I get hot. I can't help it, you guys. That could be me or Ray, or one and the same. We need that fucking leaf because we're hung, baby. I'm married to a black lady. Trust me, I am. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. Only 5'6", just as sexy as Ray, you guys. Me, Clark the Shark, where I just told you about Percy, this forgotten, neglected album soundtrack / amazing creation by the KINKS that nobody really talks about, you guys. I can't understand people. And I can see why, the album wasn't available. Nobody could buy it. I'm sure there were bootlegs over in America of the album, you guys. But if I, yours truly, your humble servant from the golden EIB Sharkerphone, it's not a microphone, if I didn't have this album, then nobody did. I didn't hear any of these songs, you guys, till YouTube. I'm not kidding. It had to be 2006 or 2007 and when I was blown away by this album, and I was like, this is way better than Lola. And Lola's fucking incredible. And I was like, this is way better than Muswell Hillbillies. It's not even close. And you know how fucking awesome Muswell Hillbillies is. This just is a template, you guys, for other great Kinks albums that would follow later. It is. But I don't think they ever did another album this solid. Maybe this good or maybe this great. But there's some solidity about this album and stability, Meteor, that this fucking album has that other Kinks albums like don't have or something, you guys. Now, when they did Schoolboys in Disgrace and, you know, like Sleepwalker and, you know, and all those Misfits, you could tell they're like, let's go back and do something like Percy, you know. Remember that one? You know, the forgotten one. Let's do it, Ray, you know. And they were emulating this album. Maybe they were trying to redo Lola versus Power Man and the Money Go Round 2 also, you guys. But I think this album, incredible though it is very forgotten in history, you guys, and that's a damn shame. Thank God for YouTube, you know, today and Google and all that, you guys, because you get a picture of me, Clark the Shark, in my birthday suit on the cover of Percy. And I want to keep it a family show, keep it clean. Don't go in the bathroom and, you know, look at this picture and fantasize about Clark the Shark. I was much younger then, back when I took that picture, you guys. But believe me, I did need that. I don't know if that's an ivy leaf or a fig leaf, or that could be poison oak. With my luck, you guys, it's like fucking poison ivy. And then look what it did to me, you know, like, you know, no kids. I'm just like sterile or some shit because I had poison oak. I mean, look at that, you guys. It's strategically placed. It had to be because either me or Ray, I'm not sure, dude, but we're well endowed, you guys, right here on the Percy Show. Clark the Shark, 1-800-449-8255. And I'm only 5'6", you know, not real, you know, macho here. Kind of, you know, when I was a kid, I was kind of albino, and you can tell by the picture. It's like you dropped acid. It's all psychedelic and yellow and orange and purple and shit, or maybe mescaline. I don't know, you guys, but now I'm like 200 pounds. I got a stomach that would cover up that green leaf or some shit. And I don't look this good anymore. I'm going to be perfectly honest, you guys. But once upon a time, long ago, they photographed me, yours truly, Clark the Shark, for the Kinks, Percy. I can't remember, you guys. It was either me or Ray. But we were both much more viral or young, and we had masculinity or something way back in the day. And now we're old. And, you know, I'm just stuck here on the Clark the Shark Show reviewing old albums. But this one by the Kinks, Percy, is incredible. And if you're a young person today, you gotta buy this album at iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, everywhere online that you can buy music. And if you're just a young person, you gotta buy the Kinks, Percy, as much as Lola or Muswell Hillbillies, or the Green Album, you guys, or Preservation 1 and 2, or Arthur, or Village Green, or something else. This album is right there with all those, but it even goes beyond and above and beyond the call, you guys. This is good shit. Take it from me, Clark the Shark, right here on the fabulous Clark the Shark Show. You got to get this album, and I'm not kidding around. I want you to buy this more than other Kinks albums, or certainly just as much, because it's important. You got to hear Moments. You know, you got to hear The Way Love Used to Be. You got to hear God's Children. You got to hear Dreams. These songs and Animals in the Zoo. Oh, God, dude, you got to hear these songs. I wish it would have been all killer songs and not all these instrumentals. But who knows? You know, the instrumentals here are very interesting. And then considering it's the Kinks, it's mind-blowing, you guys, especially like that Spanish acoustic one that's like Baroque. It's fucking killer, you guys. You got to hear this album. I don't mean to just rave and go insane about this album, but I mean this album is great. On a scale of 1 to 10, this gets a 9.7 from me, Clark the Shark. 1 out of 5, it's a 5-star album to me. I don't know who's given this a 1. Rolling Stone, Blender, All Music, the Encyclopedia of Pop Music, they don't know what they're talking about. I do. Me, Clark the Shark. You gotta buy this album, and buy it today, baby. And you know where to tell them where you heard it. Right here on the Shark-a-Doodle-Doo, the Shark-a-Llama-Ding-Dong, right here from the golden EIB Sharkerphone. It's not a microphone, it's the Wolfman Jack on crack, baby. Sharky, me, get this album, you guys. I'm not kidding. And I'm out of here. Peace.